Hello and welcome to Learn with Swasti. We are doing paper 1 EVS of the 7th July 2024 paper, and this is set B. If this has been useful for you, these series, do put in a like and put in a comment. Let's begin. So question 61 says the EVS teacher asks her questions to imagine an answer. What would have happened if all the birds were killed at once from the earth? Such a question. So it is a hypothetical question, but that is not why an EVS teacher has asked it. So we will not go with this. It's not philosophy. And convergent question is one in which you have one answer. So the correct answer would be it's a divergent question. She wants to know what are the various things the child will think about when if they are asked to imagine that if all the birds were killed at once, there were no birds on earth, what would happen? So this is a divergent question. Map reading activity in EVS develops certain abilities. So understand relative positions of places is very, very important. Understand directions of places is also important. Symbols, yes. Scale, I'm not so sure. And draw precisely, this is not there. So anywhere there is D, just cancel that out. So you have a between A and C, B and C and A, B and C. So we will go with A, B and C. That is understand because understanding relative positions of places is the most important skill. You cannot leave that out. So we have to go with A, B, and C then. Okay, so it's 7:30 p.m. in India today. It is 2 p.m. on the same day. So where are we? So we are 5.5 hours behind, which means we are in London because we've been told over and over again India is 5.5 hours ahead of London. So we are uh, ahead of Greenwich. Statement true. EVS curriculum is framed with the social constructivist perspective of learning. This is correct. Piaget's ideas about children's learning with his in-depth study of children represents the social constructivist perspective. So Piaget was not a social constructivist. He was a constructivist, but it was Vygotsky who spoke about social constructivism. Piaget, in fact, did not speak about social constructivism at all. So I'm going to go with statement 1 is true, but statement 2 is false. Piaget is not a social constructivist. In NCRT textbook of class 5, there's a real story of Suryamani, who lives in Jharkhand. The character depicts tribal life and role of Suryamani. Select the most important aspects addressed. So popular perceptions and biases has been addressed, yes. The fact that there's a close relationship between forest dwellers and community, this has been uh, talked about. Girls' education shows how it changed their life, absolutely, because Suryamani was the first girl from her tribe and how she goes back and she gives back to the community. This is talked about. The forest products used by the tribes, this has really not been mentioned. So anywhere there is D, I'm going to cancel that out and go with A, B, and C. The volume of the crust consists of the following. So all are correct. This has been taken from geography class 6, where this is the mantle, which is 1%. You have this is the core, that's 1%. You have the mantle, which is 84%, and this is the core, which is core of the earth. So structure of the earth in class 6 geography talks about this. So paper 1, I don't think it is technically in the um, syllabus of paper 1, but it's the answer is all three are correct. Assertion and reason, stories and narratives have been used throughout EVS textbooks. This is correct. Why? Because objective is to sensitize the child since he or she can empathize with characters in a story or narrative. Very true. Textbooks should sensitize the child to wide differences that exist. So both assertion and reason are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Record how seeds germinate into saplings from day 1 to 10. Rita has given this task to her students before teaching the lesson on germination. So, before she has done, she is trying to assess. What is she trying to assess? So, they should be able to observe and record, yes. Infer from the given activity, yes. Predict, yes. This also she would want. Does she want them to draw and represent? Record how they have done. I don't think she's asked them to draw and represent. So, A will not be there. Uh, so C and D will definitely be there. C and D, this doesn't have D. A, B, and C. So this also doesn't have D. So I will go with B, C, D, where it is talking about predicting, observing, and inferring from the given activity. So teacher follows the following methods: think, pair, share, reciprocal, peer tutoring, jigsaw strategy, and peer review. So these are all a part of the constructivist approach. These are called collaborative learning methods. Uh, I don't think this is called peer group learning, because in a peer group learning, you're learning from the peer. Here, all the time, you're not always learning from the peer. It is just a strategy. It's a constructivist approach, and that's what I'm going to go with. 70, assertion and reason. People can easily float on the surface of Dead Sea even if they do not know how to swim, and because it has 300 grams of salt in a liter of water, which is correct. So both A and R are true, and R is the reason for A. It is explaining it very well. Travelers like Al-Biruni and Ibn Battuta traveled from India to traveled to India. So yeah, this is wrong. Traveling led to the sharing of ideas between people. This is correct. So A is true, R is false is the correct answer. Which of the following mountains is considered to be volcanic? So Mount Kilimanjaro and Fujiyama are volcanic. Uh, A and B. But again, this is from class 6 geography. So they're including a lot of class 6 geography in this paper. Select the incorrect statement about elephants. So elephant has a herd of 20-25 female elephants, and the young ones it's 10 to 12. So I think this is the incorrect one. Male elephants live till they are 14-15, correct. Male elephants of more than 15 years have leave the herd and move alone. Yes, this is correct. Female elephants live in herds. This is also correct. If you look at the Hindi version, the third point, they said 15 वर्ष के आयु में अधिक हाथी झुंड. So they have not written male. मादा हाथी जाके छोड़ते हैं. So again, this is might have a somebody might contend this. So if you go from the English version, option that the herd has 20 to 25 elephants, that is wrong. It has 10 to 12 as per the EVS textbook. Which of the following strategy promotes inquiry while teaching the theme travel? So anywhere they are experiencing, narrating, that will be the one. Making digital presentations, no. Pictures, no. Collect pictures, no. So asking students to narrate their or their neighbors' experiences. So experiences is very important while we are talking about inquiry. Select the following select group of alloys. So, okay, steel, brass, and bronze is alloy. Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. So, brass is an alloy of copper and zinc, and bronze is an alloy of copper and tin. So, these three are alloys. Lithium is not an alloy. Tin is not an alloy. Aluminium is not. Aluminium is not an alloy. Magnesium is not an alloy. So, hence, the correct answer is steel, brass, and bronze. Okay, mountaineers suffer from nose bleeding at a higher altitude. Basically, at a higher altitude, the pressure decreases outside. So, the pressure in the blood will exceed the outside pressure, and that is why it starts coming out. Select the group of poor conductors of heat. Okay, water conducts heat well. Aluminium will conduct well, iron will conduct well. So wood, plastic, and wool, they will conduct poorly. Select maximum number of suitable tools of assessment to assess process skills. Okay, so teacher's diary will be of no use anywhere. Anywhere there is A, we just cancel this. So it will be B, C, and D, which is project work, drawing diagrams, picture reading. So anything that the child is doing, that will do. Teacher's diaries do not help the child at all. Salim and Raju are young schoolgoers. Salim likes to eat a lot of fried food and maida products. Raju eats homemade healthy food, but never eats spinach and other green leafy vegetables. So which of the following disorders are they have? So one will have obesity and one will have anemia. There's a species X of plants that grows in huge numbers but is found only in Y part of India. So what is this called? So these are called endemic. Endemic is when it is situated to a particular place. Exotic is, uh, I guess, something which is rare, not rarely found, something which is unique. So endemic is the correct word. Endemic to a particular place. 81 assertion. Okay, again a statement questions. Crows build nests on very low branches. So this by itself is wrong. They build it on the highest branch. Weaver birds stitch two leaves. No, and make it. So they don't stitch. Weaver birds actually weave. They weave it like this. Okay, so the tailor bird with stitches and weaver bird weaves, and not just two leaves. They have that lantern kind of a thing which is there with a hole out here. So that's the weaver. So both are wrong. Okay, you're located at X. So let me do this sum. You are located X out here. First, you have to go 125 meters north. So A is 125 meters due north. Then you have to go to B, which is 75 meters due west. Okay, you reach B. Then you have to go to C, which is 150 meters due north. 150. You reach C. And from C, you go to again 75 meters. He travels east. Now he has reached Y. Now the question is with respect to your school at Y. With respect to Y, the correct direction of X. So remember, X and Y are just on top of each other. So with respect to Y, where is X is the question. So it is due south. If it was asked with respect to X, where is Y, it would have been due north. But since they've asked with respect to your school at Y, what is the correct direction of X? So the answer is due south. Now again, with respect to Telangana, if you take the map of India, Telangana is here, where earlier Andhra Pradesh was there, the north of Andhra Pradesh. This is your Gujarat, and this is Bihar. So you just make a Y. One will be northwest and one will be northeast. Northwest. Gujarat is northwest and Bihar is northeast. For on a scale, 1 centimeter is 155 meters, and so how much is 19.7 centimeters? So you will multiply 19.7 into 155. So it comes to some 3.3056 something something, and it will be 3.05 kilometers. Okay, so because the answer is from meters, we have to convert it to kilometers. So 3.05 kilometers. As an EVS teacher, you wish your students to be aware of their own safety, so they can take care. What steps do you think is most appropriate? So all of them is good. See, teaching them POXO Act does not help at all. uh, Workshops on good touch and good bad is something a second choice. They should avoid strangers, no. But self defense workshops, I think, would be the best because they are actually practically learning something. So even if you uh, hold a self defense workshop where they would teach them, small children, that you should shout for help or you should bite somebody, something like that, that would be a best option, because you want their safety around adults. Which of the following best reflects experiential strategies? So field trips has to be there. With respect to NEP, art integrated learning has to be there. So now let's see which has both C and D. This has C and D. This doesn't have C and D. This doesn't have C. Okay, so these two are out. Now it is between whether discussions are more important or demonstrations are more important. So I'm going to go with discussion because they are experiencing something. They will discuss what it is. Demonstration is generally done by the teacher. So I'm going to go with discussion, field trips, and art integrated learning. Next question, Samar asks his students to consult their family members and find out the names of different food which is cooked by different methods like steaming, roasting, boiling. The most appropriate reason why. Social interaction improve? No. Uh, encourage homework? No. Experimentation, the children are not doing experimentation. So it is to provide opportunities for children to work in groups, although it's not mentioned out here that he has told them to work in groups, but this seems to be the most appropriate answer. I'm going to go with them. There's no experimentation taking place. They're just going to ask and find out. And social interaction will not be the reason. Environment in EVS. So when we're talking about environment, we're talking about all environments, social, cultural, natural. So all of them is the correct answer. EVS at a primary level is recommended to be transacted in an integrated approach, the most appropriate reason. So it draws from science, social science, and environment. So A is going to be definitely there. It helps in holistic understanding. B is also going to be there. It helps reduce the burden of students and teachers. We're not going to be talking about reducing anybody's burden, and convenient. So convenient we don't want. So A and B. So the last question, Roshni, an EVS teacher, displays a data chart on how many seeds out of 20 seeds each of mustard, green grams, Bengal grams, chili grams they have germinated. She asked students to explain why this variation is happening and what does she want to check. So she is basically trying to see whether they can draw any inference from the whole thing. So that is the reason. So with this, we come to the end of EVS. This is the 7th July 2024 paper 1. Do let me know in the comments below which you found most difficult, and do give it a like. Follow me for your CTET.